Hi guys, today I'm going to talk to you about gaming on iPhones. This will be a multi-part video series. To start the series off, I'm going to review this week's featured games, rate them, and suggest how Apple can improve their App Store for gamers. So I'm going to kick this video off with my new intro.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am hardcore game developer.
So those were the 4 featured Endless Runner games. Flow was my favourite out of the 4. I really liked the way you could control the ball in midair by touching and holding, which allowed you to control the ball with a high level of precision. Ball's Rush was also well designed, with the slide controls fitting the game perfectly, and the difficulty progression being spot on. Hit and Run was good because it offered a little more than just an Endless Runner experience. It also had a mission mode, which made the game a bit more interesting than the usual just survive as long as possible. And beating missions also helped you to unlock different vehicles with unique handling styles. And Hidden Doodle was fun, but to me it didn't really offer any more than the average Endless Runner game normally does. These are the games I didn't download. I searched these games on the internet and chose not to download them, as they didn't seem to be my type of game. Now, this is an example of one of the games I wouldn't download. I spent a couple of minutes on this game. Basically what you do in this game is build things, gather resources, and build more things. I'm not saying this is a bad game, but the reason I didn't give this game a chance was because it had no appeal to me as a gamer. Now here's a review of the rest of the games in order of my least favourite to my favourite. Number 8. Zombies. This game is a match 3 game, except instead of swapping to match 3, you slide your finger across zombies that are next to each other. This game was alright. The problem I have with this game is, once you pass level 15, I feel that no matter how well you play the game, you still need a lot of luck to pass a level. And as a gamer, I feel much more rewarded when I have to hone my skills in order to pass a level, rather than relying on luck. Number 7. Reached. Now this game may be low on the list, but it was pretty fun. Basically what you do is touch and hold to move or rotate platforms, and the catch is only blue platforms will move once you've already made contact with them, with the cube thingy. The reason this game didn't make it high on the list was because it only had 50 levels, and the game also took less than an hour to beat. There also wasn't a level select, meaning you could only play the level you were up to, and the game didn't keep track of how well you beat each level, so there was no way of keeping track on whether or not you 100% completed each level or not. So what we have is a fun game, which can become a lot better with a few tweaks. Number 6. Cubor. In this puzzle game, what you do is you tap to select the colour of the cubes you wish to control and swipe to move them. The objective is to get each cube to a goal of its colour. with the correct side touching the goal if the cube only has one coloured side. This game comes with 30 levels and has a daily levels section, with 16 different levels being rotated in each day, making this game a good game for passing your time. The only problem I have with this game is once you fully get the hang of it, it loses its replay value, as most levels require the same set of thinking skills to beat. Overall, the game is fun. The only thing is that I would have liked to see the levels offer a few more variations, as the game would have felt a little bit less repetitive. Number 5. Dig Dog. This is a paid game priced at $4.50. This arcade-style platformer has 5 worlds with 4 levels in each world. And once you die, you get to start the whole game all over again. Luckily, the levels are randomly generated, so that you're not doing the same thing over and over. Also, once you collect 4 bones from a world, you can walk back to that world, saving you time. Another thing I would like to add is, once you get to world 5, the game keeps on going until you die, which gives it good replay value. The only criticism I have for this game is that it's a little bit pricey for what it is. If it was an adventure game with the same controls and moves, then it would be money well spent. They should do a Dig Dog 2 and make it an adventure game, or I'll program this dog into my own adventure game. As I was saying, I really like Dig Dog's moves and the game mechanics. The worlds are also well designed, even though they were randomly generated. Each world felt different and had its own unique blend of enemies and obstacles. And I really enjoyed the difficulty of this game. Once you got to the later worlds, the game became a lot harder. There were heaps of enemies on the board. You had to look carefully to find them all as they blended into the background. And once you knew your surroundings, you had to plan your path carefully in order to get to the bone, or you would probably get trapped by enemies and die.
We'll keep him busy! Knocked! Over here! Quickly! Before he strikes again! Here he comes!
Number 4. Final Fantasy 15. So I only played chapter 1 of this game, and that's because on mobile it costs $30 to buy the rest of the game, where on console it costs $20 to get the whole thing, which in my opinion is the better version of this game. This game was still fun though, so it still rates highly, and I think they did a good job of porting this game to the iPhone. This game has classic RPG elements, like collecting experience points to level up your character, and being able to upgrade your character's abilities by leveling up. You can also buy things from the shop to strengthen your characters and make the game easier. I really like the stealth sections in this game. The controls felt natural and kept the stealth part of this game strong. The combat was also done quite well. The controls were simple and you predominantly relied on timing and weapon selection when engaging in combat. Though the combat was good, I would much prefer the precision and control you get when controlling your character with a controller. So I still reckon this is a really good game, but I still reckon it's a lot better on the major consoles. Number 3. Crazy Defense Heroes. This is a tower defense trading card game. What you do in this game is collect cards, use them to beat levels, gain resources from beating levels, use those resources to level up more cards, and use those cards to win more battles. In this game there are 4 types of cards: towers, spells, heroes, and equipment cards. Tower cards are placed in available set locations and levels. Spells are predominantly used when your defences are overwhelmed. There are spells like lightning or a barrage of arrows, which are the best for killing enemies closely hoarded together. Hero cards are flexible units that can be moved all over the battlefield and generally take on other units in a one-on-one battle. And equipment cards are used to enhance your main avatar, which fights alongside your heroes. There are 3 types of damage that cards can do: physical, magical, and poison damage. Cards also have different attack rates, with some attacks affecting widespread areas. That paired with a wide variety of enemies with different stats makes for a challenging game where tactics and pre-battle preparation make a huge difference. There are 4 different rarities of cards that range from 1 star to 4 star rarity. I currently have no 4-star cards, even though I've opened a lot of premium chests. So now I'm putting this game on the bottom of my list. Now seriously though, I'm still playing this game because it's really addictive, and I would have put this game at the top of my list if it wasn't a freemium game. But although the game's freemium, it still feels fair. I haven't spent any money on the game, and I haven't been stuck yet. But still, it takes 9 minutes for just 1 unit of my energy to recharge. And with it costing 6 energies to play a level, or 9 energies to play a hard level, it can be a bit frustrating. Overall, though, the game is exceptionally well designed, with the only thing holding it back being its time constrictions. It should have been paid instead, without having to wait. But with all things considered, I'm still having a lot of fun after playing this game for a month, and I can't wait to get a freaking 4-star card. Number 2. Death Squared. This game was featured on iTunes, but I chose to download it on a Nintendo Switch because it offers more levels on the Switch. I apologise for the footage, I'm still waiting for my new computer to arrive so I can use my Elgato capture card and bring you HD console footage. So that's why I haven't done any Mario Maker videos just yet. Moving on to the game, this is a puzzle game where you control a red cube and a blue cube and have to get them to their respective goals in order to finish a level. And what kept this game fresh was the fact that the lasers and other traps behave differently in each level, and you don't normally see this in puzzle games. In most puzzle games, once you learn the main strategies, the game becomes easier. Where in this game, not only do you have to strategize, but in each level, you have to adapt to a different set of rules. So for those who like games that challenge your intellect, I highly recommend this game. Now it's time for me to present my favourite game on the list, and that game is Dandara. Now this game may be a $20 game, which is also available on the major consoles, but the way the game plays makes it well suited to smartphones and makes it well worth the money. This game is a Metroid-style exploration game where you navigate yourself through the world and discover new abilities along your journey, which allows for you to progress and discover more areas. You also collect salt from defeating enemies, which is used to upgrade your health and energy. In this game, energy is used for special attacks like missiles. In this game, you move by launching yourself from platform to platform by using your right hand to control which platform you want to land on, and you can only move to platforms in range, which are coated in white salt. And you use your left hand to aim and shoot down enemies. This game didn't hold your hand at all. To progress through the game, you have to explore and find out how to get to places with no hints, and some treasures required you to think outside the box in order to obtain them. The enemies in this game were difficult to deal with and would often end up killing you if you didn't dispatch of them in a quick and effective manner. Also, once you died in the game, you lost all your salt, which is used to upgrade your character, and you could only retrieve this salt back by getting back to where you died, and to make matters worse, you could only spend salt at the limited number of save points, which are often located far away from where you died. This added an extra element of thrill to the game, and made each second of the gameplay extremely valuable. And for those reasons, this game is number 1 on my list. It has the qualities of a great game, and the way you control your character and play the game is very unique. So the question I have in this video is, how well does the featured list cater to gamers? Out of the 18 games, this featured list had 5 games that were more gamer specific. Those happened to be the top 5 on my list. And they also had 4 endless runner games, which aren't only made for gamers, but are enjoyable since getting a high score gives you bragging rights. I understand this is just one of the many featured lists, but this featured list still gives us some insight. It shows that Apple does feature solid games that cater to gamers, but it also shows they feature casual games, which sometimes can take up a lot of the list. So the answer is that gamers can find some good games on the featured list, but it would be better if they had more than one featured list, with at least one list having casual games on it, and the other list only having games that are for gamers. I understand that this is just one part of the App Store I've analysed. In my next videos, I'm going to talk about how Apple can improve their app stores for gamers, including a different layout, and I'm going to show you some undiscovered games and tell you where I think Apple can improve so that these games can be discovered. That's it for my video. If you want me to do reviews of any of those games in greater depth, please leave comments down below. Thanks for watching.